I'm sorry. Sorry. Tuesday Takeover is such a takeover of my life. Guys, come on in. Come on in. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Do not forget to let me know where you're watching from. Hey, Fahrenheit 79, my first Kempire Live. Yes. Let's be honest. I was literally just posting 2 new TikTok videos. One about this whole Sandra Bullock, the Blind Side situation, which we are going to talk about here. I also posted a little bit of a clip from the Carlos King and Kenya Moore interview. I will get back to you guys on if it's going to be live or if I'm going to do a video talking about it. I got to rewatch it. I watched some moments over and over again. We can briefly talk about it here, but I gotta, what I like to do. But if you're new to our Tuesday Takeover, this is where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. But we always like to start off the show with some good news. But before we get into some good news, because I am a little late, let's make sure the notification squads are being notified. I notice sometimes I get notifications. I'm like, that was hours ago. I can only imagine it for you guys why you're missing sometimes our live shows. So be sure when I post the video link to put the notify me on, because usually that will help notify you or secure your notification. We are live on TikTok behind the scenes. We are live on Twitch, Twitter, on Facebook, the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. And of course, we are live on YouTube. If you want to be part of our larger conversation on YouTube, head on over there, subscribe to the Kempire YouTube channel. Let's get into our countdown and then let's get into our Tuesday Takeover.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat. And of course, be sure to turn on your notifications. Some of you said your notifications were working. So, we love to start Tuesday Takeover with some good news. So there's some stories that I want to cover that could be considered good news, but we'll start off with some good news. First off, congratulations to Ashley Olson. You know Ashley from Mary-Kate and Ashley Olson. Hold on, where are my pictures? you know Ashley Olson. Aren't they billionaires? I forgot, but they've done very well for themselves from Full House. All right? They done so well when they did the Full House remake, Fuller House, on Netflix. They're like, we don't need that money. We don't want anything a part of that. All right? But word on the street, homegirl, I don't know if she had the baby. I don't know if she had a surrogate. I don't know. But apparently she is a mom for the very first time of a son named Otto with her husband here. You can see they got married, I think, over a year ago. They got married undercover. The Olsen twins have kept their lives very private for a very long time. They've had very public lives, but at the same time, they've kept their private lives private. But she gave birth. Well, she's now a mom, and apparently she's been a mom for a few months. A few months. How do they keep this under wraps? And honestly, us talking about this right now, they still haven't confirmed. They still have not confirmed that this happened. But multiple sources are confirming that she is a mom to a new son, Otto. Congratulations. I'm happy for her, because look, they've been famous for a very long time. So, and when you're famed that young and the world is always looking at you, it's hard to have have a normal life. So if they're able to space out a family, a normal life for themselves, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. You know, so many people want fame and fortune and they don't prioritize family. I know Kenya Moore was just talking about that in her interview with Carlos. She was just talking about that in prioritizing her family over the show. I said I was going to talk about it, and now we're going to talk about it a little bit. All right. So, congratulations to Ashley Olson. Congratulations to her. Yes. That's always good news. Speaking of Ashleys, I didn't plan on this segue, but here we go. Speaking of Ashleys, you know Ashley, the dance captain for Beyonce for a very long time. And then there have been rumors like there's been Ashley has been shading Beyonce. You know how the beehive starts. Bzzz, they start things because she's no longer the dance captain of this particular tour. All right? But she was the dance captain for Beyonce for a long time. But she was recently at one of Beyonce's shows, I believe one of the ones in Atlanta. Because how many shows does she have in Atlanta? I'm sort of like, damn, how come we only got 2 shows? It's like she has a residency in Atlanta. Why does Beyonce have a residency in Atlanta and not here in New York? But sidebar, you know I told you I really wanted to go see Beyonce, but based off of everything that all of you guys have been telling me in regards to just how hectic it's been, or you had to do this and that, and all the video footage, or the ticket prices skyrocketing, except for Dewan. You know, Dewan called in yesterday and said, oh, he tried that TikTok thing where you get the tickets last minute and it worked out for him. Oh, it's 3. Okay, fine. It's still a residency. In comparison to the rest of the shows that she's doing, what other places in Houston is she doing 3 shows or 2? Someone let me know in the chat. Is she doing 3 shows or 2 in her hometown? Because if she's not, then this is a residency in Atlanta. This is a residency. Oh, Jen told me it's 2. LA has 3. Also, she has a residency in LA too. What happened to New York? Okay. So first off, Beyonce gave a shout out to Ashley Everett during her show. She was like, Ashley's in the building. Hey, Ashley. Because people thought there's beef between them. Okay. Oh, speaking of Ashley Davis says, Kempire, you can't go off of other experiences. You're right. I mean, I would love to do it, but I'm not paying thousands of dollars. Okay. Stephanie says it's 2 in Houston. Why can't she have 3 in Houston? There are people traveling to other states to go see Beyonce. You know how many people from New York I know went to Beyonce in Atlanta? Just saying. Oh, and 1 in Dallas. So I guess technically that's 3 in Texas. Anyways, so I know it seems like we talk about Beyonce every week, but it's a Beyonce summer. It's the Renaissance summer. Oh, I didn't mean to press that. It's the Renaissance summer. Yes, Justin. Okay. Thank you, Justin, for the segue. Justin says Taylor did 6 in LA. So Tina Knowles was stopped recently by TMZ talking about the comparisons that are happening between Beyonce and Taylor Swift because they're both on tour this summer. And you know, if you were, I think it was on either TikTok, I think it was TikTok, where we were talking about this the other night. And I said to you, I see the comparisons that people are making to Beyonce and Taylor, but I feel like there is no comparison needed when it comes to live performers. However, Taylor is selling out every single night. I don't understand. Look, I know Beyonce is selling out in certain places, but she's not selling out every single night. I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense to me at all, based off of what you guys are saying about this show and based off what I've seen from the clips. But there are people comparing, and Tina Knowles, she's like, there's no comparison. There's no need to compare them. She's just like, they're both great artists. And I agree. I mean, well, kind of. See, Mama Knowles is not going to say it, but we will. Beyonce is definitely a better live performer, vocally, dancing. I told you on TikTok, the dance, every time I saw a clip of Taylor, and I like Taylor, you know I like me some Taylor. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. But every clip I see of Taylor in concert, this is what I see. This is what I see. And I'm just like, oh. What Taylor Swift song requires that movement? But people are comparing these female artists. They do this all the time. I don't ever see them say this about the men. I don't. I don't. However, both Taylor and Beyonce are not hurting. Both shows are doing very well. Both tours are doing very well for themselves. They're both are going to. I know Taylor has already announced second shows that she's going to start doing, but Beyonce, we're waiting on her to make that announcement too. She has to. Look, you have to, Beyonce. Your summer renaissance is doing extremely well. People are dressing up and showing out. So I don't see any comparison. Sidebar. Last night, Beyonce gave a shout out to Lizzo. So Lizzo's not canceled? Okay, I kid. No, because you remember there was a rumor out there that Beyonce had skipped her name. Well, not a rumor. We saw the video footage. She skipped her name because she wanted to shade Badu when she said Badu Badu. So that became a story. Tina Knowles downplayed it on social media. So I guess Beyonce wanted to show love to Lizzo because Lizzo is a huge Beyonce fan. Like she's seen Beyonce in concert many times. Okay, even during her Destiny Child days when Destiny Child was up and coming. So a lot of people are now criticizing Beyonce for showing support to Lizzo because they're like, well, these are some damning claims. These are some damning claims against Lizzo. Why would you support her? I think Beyonce saying that she loves Lizzo in this particular moment is that she knows how much of a fan Lizzo is. And look, nothing has been, we are still waiting for this whole situation with Lizzo to play out, even though there are more and more accusations coming out. But she said, I love you, Lizzo. Said no one else. No, I'm playing. I'm kidding. All right. So also over the weekend, Beyonce told Atlanta that they had won the Everybody on Mute competition. Oh, you didn't know it was a competition? It is. It's a competition. You didn't know? Well, she said that they had won. And honestly, and I talked about this on my podcast, the new episode of the podcast, Kempire Radio, came out over the weekend. I said, it's actually pretty epic when people in an entire stadium are quiet. Look, even right now, we quiet. Honestly, as a tourist, no shade to anyone, to my friends, lovers. Here's the thing with me. We could be traveling somewhere, we could be hanging out, we could just be chilling here. We don't have to talk. It's not that I hate you and I think you're a terrible person. There's something comforting about silence and what can be said in silence. So when I see everybody in this huge stadium, and look, Atlanta, yeah, won because the Queen told you that you won. However, I've seen multiple footage of people screaming when she said everybody on mute. Okay? So you weren't completely on mute. See, Miss Robbins agrees. Says, I'm a tourist and I totally agree. There's something about silence. Can we all just be silent for a second? I love it though. I love it. She said Atlanta won. Did Atlanta win last night again? I haven't seen any footage. Now she caught that, right? You caught that? Yeah, she caught that. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover. Well, congratulations to Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Women that are setting a precedent in regards to the music industry that has been sexist for far too long. They are both having the biggest tours of the summer. So if you have an opportunity to go see them, go enjoy and have your best time and report back and let me know how it was, okay? You know what? I'm not going to read some of y'all shady comments, but we can continue this conversation in the comment section. So let's move on. Anything else I want to mention about Beyonce? Where's her next city? Houston? Is the next city Houston? I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Congratulations to Beyonce. All right. Let's move into 90 Day Fiance because, you know, we like to mix it up for our Tuesday Takeover. We talk about some reality TV and we talk about some pop culture news as well. All right. Let me take a sip. Y'all fighting about Taylor and Beyonce in the chat. Stop. Let's move on. Oh, Tampa, then Miami, and then Houston. No, because Houston's around her birthday, so that makes sense. Well, Miami, y'all better get it together. Tampa, y'all better get it together. Everybody on mute. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. I did want to remind you guys, because last week I told you about a show called Hack My Home, and some of you said you binged it. I love this damn show. It's so good. It's so good. Hack My Home on Netflix. They're not paying me, but at this point, here's what makes Hack My Home so different. I watched the rest of the season, and it was really, really good, because they're helping these families that are living in situations, not necessarily, they're not impoverished or anything like that, but they're living in situations where they have big families and maybe the spaces that they have are not conducive. So these folks, literally, we have a designer, we have an innovator, we have an engineer, we have someone that's involved in construction. They have big personalities, which makes it great for television. And they are literally, when they say hack my home, they're coming up with different cool hacks to make things more efficient. So one of the episodes after last week's live that I watched was this young man. He those Murphy beds that flip up into the wall? So he was sleeping in something like that, and it was literally right in the living space. So what they did, they found like a space in the upper part of the house that wasn't being used. It was just, part of like the ceiling, I guess. And they opened that up, and they make him his own private space and room in there. And how is he going to get up there? They make these stairs that folds into the wall when you're not using them, and then you pull him out when he wants to go up to have his own little room. So that was just one of the episodes. And the episodes are so easy to watch. They're not long at all. They're not even an hour. It might be a little bit over 30 minutes. And you see a lot within those 30 minutes of how all these people are working together to come up with different ways to create space and enjoyment, especially for the kids that are living in these like tight quarters. And one of the episodes, they had quadruplets or something like that. They had a lot of kids, all right? And they didn't have a play space for them, so they went into the basement. They renovated the basement, but the father also needed a workspace down there in the basement. So the father's workspace was sort of like behind, it was like a speakeasy behind a wall, so him and his wife could actually hang out there. And then you could turn that speakeasy room into his office. So the office wall comes out. Like, there's so many moments where you press a button and something's coming out of a wall, coming out of the floor. One of the episodes, they literally have an access to the basement through the kitchen table. You open up the kitchen table, and there goes the stairs to the basement where they built out a classroom for her because she does homeschooling for the kids. And before, she was just doing it in their living room. A lot of us live that way, where we hack our own homes, but it's not a really great hack. Okay? These folks are literally coming up with construction ideas to hack your home. I'm sure HGTV has something similar to this show, but I have personally never seen a show like theirs. And it's on Netflix. So be sure to check it out and let me know what you thought of it. All right? Oh, thank you, Dr. Payne. I forgot about that part. With soundproofing, because these kids are going to be in the other room and he's working in the other room. I don't know how they do it. I mean, you do. You get to see how they do it. Brilliant. I can't wait to see a season 2. You know what I just started watching while I was on the Peloton? Yeah, I even did the Peloton this morning. It's been a busy morning. I started watching Inventing Anna again. I know, I already watched it. I don't need to be rewatching it, but it was so good. Shonda Lane, you guys did that. Inventing Anna on Netflix, so good. Oh yeah, sidebar. With the new Pelotons, you can stream Netflix on there. Fancy. All right, moving on. Okay, let's talk about Below Deck. And then we will get into 90 Day Fiance, because last week we talked about the drama that was happening on Below Deck. I'm so happy that these two are gone. I'm so happy too that but I did want to give you guys a little bit of an update on Luke and Laura from Below Deck Down Under. And yes, they are releasing 2 episodes every single week. I don't know why. It's annoying to me. I love Below Deck, but I don't need Below Deck, 2 hours of Below Deck on a Monday night. Okay? But Luke, I haven't seen any stories about Luke breaking his silence on the situation. Maybe he has. I have not seen it. But Laura has been speaking way too much on her social media. I'm not going to reiterate the trash things that she's been saying, but Laura, your time and your 15 minutes of fame are up. We are done. Please do not invite her to the reunion. Please do not invite her to the reunion. I don't care about what she has to say. She's not showing any true remorse. She feels like any press is good press. She can go. Sidebar. So these last 2 episodes of Below Deck Down Under, we had those corn stars on deck. I have to say this. I feel as if because they were so free with themselves and their personalities and their sexuality, it actually helped the group bond with the crew. Yeah, did you guys notice that? Because by the end of it, you kind of was like, oh, bye. Because I felt like they did. Sidebar. Culver. Who knew Culver had that? All that in the back, Culver. I was like, oh, all right, Culver. We see you. But Culver is a mess. Culver is a little... He's like all over the place. This is why he couldn't be the bosun. They had to bring in a new bosun. I'm not familiar with Joao. I will call him Jay. I'm not familiar with him from Below Deck Med, but Aisha is. Aisha had me cracking up during her confessionals this week. I know I haven't really loved Aisha over the last couple of seasons, but she had me cracking up in her in these last couple of episodes. Okay, so Harry and Margot go on a date, and it kind of the date was awkward, which was surprising. Like, Harry's awkward, but I thought they would have had a better time. Right? I thought they would have had a better time. But I thought the way that he, asked her to go on this date, I thought all of this was cute. But Margot was just like, yeah, the conversation just wasn't hitting. And maybe because there's also pressure. There's pressure of, this is our first time doing this, and it's being filmed. So I think it's some of that. He thought that it went really well. Margot was like, not so much. Not so much. But yeah, so Joao, we have a new... Oh, see, Deborah says, yeah, Joao was a mess the previous season. They show how much of a mess he was. However, so far, outside of him being a mess when it comes to his coworkers, as a worker, I don't like the fact that everyone else is trying to make... All the other deck crew are trying to make it seem like he's lazy, when literally they're saying that he's lazy, and you see that he's working. It seems to be like they're the problem, because his assessment of everyone, including our boy Adam, seemed to be spot on. And apparently Joao also knew Tazine. The chef. I can never remember. I know it starts with TZ. I can never remember her name. It's okay though. I do like her, but she gets our feelings hurt because we also have a new stew. Cute little young thing who has her eyes on Culver and ends up kissing Culver at the end of the episode. And poor Aisha is concerned that the chef is going to hook up with Joao, but she's like, no, that's like my buddy. We have friends that know each other. So I thought it was 2 good episodes. Yes, it was a long episodes, but I did end up watching it all, along with 90 Day Fiance. You know what made it better? Because 90 Day Fiance the other way was short. I was very grateful. It was shorter than usual. To Zarina. Thank you, Robin. I can always forget. I don't know why. Oh, woo woo woo, Zarina. Woo woo woo. Okay, but let's talk about this about Below Deck Down Under. So one of the things that made me really nervous this episode, it's not about the charter guest. So one of the things that happened in, I think it was like episode 2. Yeah, well, the first episode leading into the second episode, where they're trying to pull in the boat, and Culver is the one controlling it, and he literally is moving it too fast, even though he seems like he knows what he's doing. But Captain Jason's like, he was moving it too fast. There's no reason for that boat to be swinging like that, almost damaging the boat and pushing poor Captain Jason falling on his feet, off his feet. So that was pretty interesting. And that's what makes me love Below Deck. And I always say this, the reason why Below Deck is different than other shows, you have to have a skill set to be on this crew. You can't just be like, oh, someone that likes boating and be a part of this crew. No, you actually have to know what you're doing. even if you're not the best at it, like Culver. So I felt bad for Harry and Margot and their date not going well. I did actually have a little bit of hope that their relation, not that it would become this big romance, but that it would be like, oh, we actually have a good time with each other. Because I think Harry's really sweet. And after everything that happened with Margot these last couple of episodes, it would have been nice for her to have this little boat romance. But you never know. You never know. How many of you have had an awkward first date, but then it ends up being a little bit something more? You might end up marrying the person. Maybe. I thought it was cute. Not much to say on the new Stu. I don't remember her name. It's okay. I will get to learn. All right. Anything else that I want to say about these last couple of episodes? No, we're good. I mean, we had some corn stars on it. That made it very interesting. We had put food. I don't look. Y'all know I love to eat, but I'm not eating food off of somebody's body. I'm not doing it. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. All right. I did not get to finish watching. I think I did actually finish Welcome to Crappy Lake. Welcome to Crappy Lake with Sonia and Lou. It's not bad. And I keep saying that every week, but it's not, because so many of you hyped up the show, not you guys, but so many people hyped up the show that I was like, oh, I wonder if it's going to be good, because I remember Sonia and Luann from their heyday on Roni. So I was interested. I was like, well, let's see. And I do see moments where it does make me chuckle, especially the banter between Countess Luann and Sonia. Sonia really makes me laugh more than Countess Luann, to be honest with you. We even get to see Luann's brother come to be on the show to help them. So they're helping this small town, and they're doing different pageants, and the delusion between everyone, the things that come out of Sonia's mouth. It's a cute show. I can see why people like it. I don't love it, though. I don't love it. It's cute. It's a nice filler show. Taurus Moon says Crappy Lake was cute. I hope they go to another small town. Yeah, maybe it's the town. I don't know. Regina says Crappy Lake is not good, Kempire. It's cute. It's cute. I can see why some people like it. Chi-Town Girl says, I was expecting more from this show. It bores me. I mean, it's short. If it was an hour-long show, then I'd probably be like, no. Why are you wasting my time? But no, it's actually very short. And if you don't have commercials, it's 20-something minutes. So it's an easy show to watch. You can even watch it while you're doing something else. You know what I mean? Okay, see, Heather Dubrows leftover sushi. It's so funny. Sonia's rap when she was in her Christmas hoodie was funny. I agree, she's a bit more. She is. I kind of miss Sonia more than Luann, but I do enjoy Luann sometimes. And I like seeing their banter together, but I probably enjoy Sonia more. Imagine Sonia and Brynn together. That would be interesting. Guys, if you missed our recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta and New York yesterday, be sure to check that out here on the Kempire YouTube channel. You can also watch it on Facebook, the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. All right, moving on. Let's move on to 90 Day Fiance. 90 Day Fiance UK. You know this is my show, but we have things to talk about. First of all, congratulations to them. Look, you know, normally we would say all these theatrics that happened during their wedding, you would think that it was pre-produced. No, you can't pre-produce weather. Their wedding did eventually happen. I really do believe in this couple. I do believe in Katie and Alejandra. I do believe that they do enjoy each other. I think he finds her a little annoying. All right. But I think she can be a little annoying. But they finally do get married. And she's like, are these signs that I shouldn't get married? Because it starts storming, wind and rain starts coming through. The power goes out during the wedding. But don't they say if it rains during your wedding, it's good luck? Don't they say that? I mean, I've never been married before. Someone tell me. Is it good luck? Is it good luck if it rains during your wedding? On your wedding day? Well, it stormed on her wedding day. Wind, rain, the power went out. Congratulations to Katie and Alejandro. We didn't get to see Shane and Mert this week, which is fine. Luis and Jose. Oh, I love you, chicken. I love you, chicken. Here's the thing. It's not just a language barrier between these two. First of all, something's wrong with her too. Something is wrong with Luis. Because last week we were talking about her, let's get matching tattoos. She's not even sure he can stay in the country. And now homegirl is pregnant. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Homegirl is pregnant. Louise is pregnant to that man. He's like, I having a chicken. I love chicken, baby. Something's not right. Something's not right. He has the maturity of a 3-year-old. And now you're having a baby with him? What is wrong with you? So I always have to look at her. Something's not right with you. And now he's failed the English test in order to stay in the country. And she's like, he can't even be serious when she's trying to be like, this is not good. He's like, oh, baby, chicken. And she's like, this is serious. You're not going to be here for the wedding. I mean, for the, she's already married to the man. You're not going to be here for the birth of this baby. Why the hell would you get pregnant? And then you know what the son was saying in regards to this man's weird behavior in the home. Something's not right. Something's not right with them. So that's the update on Louise and Jose. She's pregnant, married, and he's getting kicked out the country. I'm sorry. We did get to see this couple this week, Robert and Assel, which is fine. Micheal and Mercy, she's not happy. She's not happy. She wants to go back to Kenya. She's just like, because she can't work. She's stuck in the house. She's unhappy. I don't think that's the only reason. I think she's unhappy because maybe she pictured herself having a different life in the UK. But I don't believe she loves this man at all. At all. I don't believe she loves this man at all. Who else was in 90 Day Fiance UK? Oh, how come I don't have a picture of oh no. See, there's way too many shows. There are way too many shows on because you know what I was going to mix up? Statler and her girlfriend. I was gonna mix them up. I was like, oh no, they're not on 90 Day Fiance UK. Too many 90 Day Fiancés are on at the same time. There's like 4 different ones on right now. And we're not only covering 3 of them because I told you I'm not talking about The Last Resort. Okay. So, so Mercy is not happy living in the UK. I think she pictured a different life for herself. I wonder how they were able to kind of get over once he saw her intentions, at least how it was edited on their initial getting together. I don't believe she even sees it for this man. I think she's been using him. But now she's like stuck in the house in the UK. She can't do anything. She doesn't have any money. All right, let's move on because I'm already starting to think about the other shows. And I'm like, oh no, that's not the UK. They're located in the UK, but it's not a part of the UK show. Paula, I agree. Alejandro and Katie are my fave on this show. I mean, I've been invested in their relationship since last season. So I was happy to see that they finally got married despite all that rain and storm. They got married. Hopefully they are happy. I have to say Alejandro's energy towards Katie feels a little weird. I feel like I see annoyance on his face with her lately, and I don't know what that is. Or maybe we do. Okay, let's talk about 90 Day Fiance the other way. Let's talk about oh no, it's not the other way. 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Okay? See, and oh, thank you, N. At least I'm not the only one. N says I got them all mixed up too. See? Okay, so Amanda and Rosvin, they had a major, first of all, they slept together finally. She felt comfortable enough to sleep with him. And now that she slept with him, she's sort of like, oh, I don't know. I don't think this is going to work. And I have to agree with her. Because I feel as if based off what she explains in the episode, it sounds as if he wants to come to America and become a big time actor. And she's like, are you going to make sure that we still have food on the table, regardless of you trying to focus on your career? It sounds like you want to come here, do your career. And if that doesn't work out, you're not going to find another job. I have to agree with her. I do believe that he really does adore her, though. I don't think that he's just using her to come to America, but I feel like he has these hopes and dreams of being famous. And when he comes here, if that doesn't happen, which a lot of people, especially right now, want to become actors or stars. And wow, now I kind of look at him differently. Is he in this relationship so he can be on TV? See, it's so hard to determine people's intentions. It's hard. Now I'm looking at him a little different. But I mean, maybe he's a good actor, but maybe, I don't know. I feel like there is a connection between them. But remember, she's gone through a lot, Amanda. But yeah, I don't know. Now I'm second guessing the intentions here because I don't know if his love for her is bigger than his love for being famous. Oh, Scarlett says, well, I might have to take a look. I just can't with some of the people that are on it, though. Scarlett says 90 Day Last Resort picked up in the second half. Definitely gave more than I anticipated. Okay. All right. Moving on in regards to these couples, David and Sheila. Okay, another couple this week. This is why you have to watch the season as a whole, because at the beginning we are like, oh my God, I love these couples. How are you guys? Remember Sheila lost her mom in the last couple of episodes, so she's been grieving. I told you 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days deserves all the awards for this season because the way that they're editing David and how David's world looks and sounds or doesn't sound, I was like, this is really great editing. Really great editing. But there's a conversation this week about David supporting Sheila and helping fix Sheila's home. It's going to cost like almost $2,000 to fix her home in the Philippines. And so she's asking the questions, do you think you'd be able to take care of it? She finds out he makes $800 a week. She's like, oh, that's a lot of money. You can get a condo here for $800. So I'm kind of looking at Sheila a little differently. I'm looking at Sheila like, but here's the thing. And we've talked about this because, we've been talking about 90 Day Fiance for a long time now. And we've said, people get married for different reasons. Not everyone gets married for love. Not everyone gets married for love. People get married here in our own country for a lifestyle. And I'm not judging that. But I am judging if both people aren't on the same page. And now I'm looking, because I really did think for a second, I was bamboozled for a second, that Sheila really did have feelings for David. And now I'm looking at Sheila like, does she? Sidebar, people were going in on the translator on social media because they feel like the translator is not translating correctly in regards to what Sheila is saying to David. And one of the things, the benefits of traveling the world, especially in places that do not speak English, you get to understand how it's not easy translating things from languages to English, especially culture differences and things like that. It's very complex. Can you imagine what this translator is trying to do? She's translating English, she's translating their native tongue, and she's trying to translate sign language, American Sign Language. So she's trying to convey what this person is saying. She's not intentionally trying to be like malicious. I know some people, probably Sheila, probably thinks that, this woman is trying to be the next Sheila. I don't believe that. But Sheila's a little insecure, rightfully so, because she's like, this is my meal ticket, not yours. Hey, Cap, watching from Singapore. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. Let's get to 10,000 likes. Keep tapping your screens. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We already have 800 people in the building for our Tuesday Takeover. Heather Dubro's Leftover Sushi says, I agree. $800 a week isn't a lot in the US when he's living on his own. He might not have that much after paying all his bills. He said that. He says, I believe Sheila thinks because I'm working that I have a lot of money. And he's like, I don't. And he's even saying this $2,000 is a lot for him. Sidebar, we were just talking about Martell not paying the $1,500. Look at us. We're like, $1,500 is not a lot. Poor David is like, $1,700 is a lot to, just give away. Exactly, Quinn. Right, Kempire, all languages express differently. Terminology is different. It's just very complex. I know friends that are multilingual. They're like, sometimes when they're talking to me, they're trying to translate things in their head before they speak it. So it's very interesting. Yes, Claire says English is a complex language. Translating another language to English isn't so easy. I struggle translating Swahili to English a lot. See? And I think it's good that we're having the conversation so that people can be like, oh, I didn't think about that. I didn't know that. So I'm glad we're talking about it. High Vibe says Martell's charging for a party he threw. Oh, Lord. Collecting everyone's cash app. All right, let's move on. What other couple from 90 Day Fiance before the... Okay. I know I say this every week about Gino and Jasmine, but truly, what are we fighting about? This week, they decide to call his cousin because the cousin said things on social media about Jasmine because he doesn't know Jasmine's intentions. Is Jasmine just, trying to get with Gino for a lifestyle? I think they're using each other. I think they're using this show so that they can be famous. I don't believe that there's any real things happening between Gino and Jasmine. I think they're using each other for this show. I don't believe that this is a real relationship. And all of the theatrics that Jasmine likes to do, all the crazy eyes and things like that, and the crazy behavior, I believe she's just upped it because everyone has reacted to it on social media. Dashy says, I'm so tired of them. I know, that's why I'm only going to just say that. This week they spoke to the cousin. The cousin aired out their grievances in regards to Jasmine. Jasmine was just like being Jasmine. And Gino's stuck in the middle. If it's even real. Statler and Dempsey. Statler, we talked about this last week. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse because I feel like we repeat the same thing every week. But they both say that they love each other. However, Dempsey says, I think, because Statler breaks the news that, I want to move here and I think I should move in with you. And she's like, no, I don't think that. I love you, but I think if you move here, you should move someplace on your own. And Statler's like, why? So I feel like Statler, the same reason why this ex called things off with her before, is the same situation that's happening. I think just Statler's just that type of person. She's like, I'm always all in. No, I think she's a bit much. I find her hilarious. However, I would never date her. That's a little bit too much. Unrealistic. And how long have they been talking? They haven't even been talking a year. So Dempsey's like, well, you can move down the street, live there for maybe a few. I don't know. I feel as if Statler and Dempsey, I don't know. I feel like it could work, but I agree with Dempsey. Take your time. I don't think you should live with me. CC says Statler is too much. Yeah. But funny. Come on. Y'all cannot deny that Statler is funny. Just saying. All right. Oh, sorry. Am I saying Stadler? Is it Stadler? Hold on. My notes. I think I have it in here. Statler, not Stadler. I need to look that up. Someone look it up for me. Let me know. All right, guys, you're just joining us. This is our Tuesday Takeover where we talk about shows like 90 Day Fiance and other reality shows and pop culture news. So it is a mashup of everything that's going on, things that we don't get to talk about in separate videos. All right. SW says, early days of reality shows, it was possible to plant things and become popular. It's not as easy anymore, and viewers want more real. It's true. Robin says, Statler is overdoing the lesbian trope about bringing a moving van on a second date. I mean, is it really a trope? Shout out to my lesbians, but y'all know. Just saying. Okay. Thank you, Kaboom. I thought I had it right. I don't always get it right. It is Statler. Okay. All right. Moving on. Just because we have so much to cover and so much to talk about. we do have to talk about, okay, we'll briefly talk about Tyree. So Tyree finally meets the woman that was being used as the catfish. However, she knew nothing about it. They kind of left it open like, did she know? Was she in on it? Well, no, she was not in on it. She seemed really sweet and really nice. But here's the thing. At first, I've been over Tyree for the last couple of weeks. I was like, no, at this point, Tyree, you are the problem. You are the issue. But after he has this date, okay, it's not a date. I should have called it a date. After he has this conversation with this woman that he thought he was talking to, but wasn't, he has the most aha moment. And I applaud the producers for this moment. He was like, you know what? I think I was leaning on this particular person, this catfish, as a crutch and not getting out there and doing it. But after doing this, now I know I can go out there and I can date and I can do it. I was like, come on. I thought that was so profound at the end. Because I didn't expect it. Because I was so over this. I was like, why are we watching this damn scene with Tyree and this woman who has no idea who he is? She has no involvement. It's been a catfish. You're on the wrong show, Tyree. But then he has this aha moment at the end. And I was like, good for you. Good for you. And I hope he really does do it. Maybe when at the tell-all, we'll get an update that he's dating someone. Hopefully not this lady, because she knows she lives in Denver. Someone that he can actually have a relationship with in real life. Good for him. For me, that was the best part, the best ending to Tyree's story. Now we don't have to deal with him anymore. Bye, Tyree. Okay, are you team Christian or Chloe? So Chloe last week was very upset with Christian because she feels as if Christian was denying their intimacy. And I feel as if there was miscommunication. I feel as if Christian didn't want to say too much. Maybe he was trying to be a gentleman. I also think that he's a little, this is all new for him. But I don't feel like he was denying their relationship. He did say that they hooked up, but he didn't go into depth of how far they went. He said that they didn't go all the way. Everyone's all the way might be a little different. But I do feel like Chloe is overly sensitive, and that could be for a variety of reasons. Because remember, Chloe has Asperger's. Does she have Asperger's? No, she has autism. I don't know where she is on the spectrum, but she has autism, and she has autism. But she has, so there's social cues and things like that. So she might be a little bit extra, sensitive. So I felt like she sort of made this whole situation bigger than it needed to be. And I actually, because at first I was like, well, what did he say? What did he do? I'm trying to understand. And it seemed like there was some miscommunication. Luckily, Christian was very understanding. Scarlett says that dude is a clear manipulator. Really? I don't know if I believe that. I mean, maybe you see something I don't see, but at least in what we are seeing, I didn't see it. I don't also think that he's 100% into Chloe either. Right? Dashy says that I think he's just looking for a way out. I think he's been second guessing. I think he's been having second thoughts ever since he talked to his family and friends before he left. I don't know, because he had his way out. He had his way out when this fight happened. He could have taken it then. Maybe. Look, maybe. Jess says, why was her friend there? Because she would feel more comfortable. She said that she would feel more comfortable with her friend being there to support her during the conversation. Let me just say thank you. Natalie, thank you so much for the super chat. Natalie says, I just got back from Barbados. Look at you. I can't wait to hear what happens this week, especially on Below Deck. A mess. Thanks, Natalie, for the super chat. We appreciate your support. And thank you to all of you that have bought merch from our merch store. Don't forget, our new merch is now available at houseofkempire.com. And if you remember, go to our community tab and get the details on how you can save a little bit as well. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on. Julie says, Kenny and Armando need to stop crying. So if you follow me on TikTok, you saw the little short video that I posted because I was watching Kenny and Armando and I was just like, I cannot with these two. But we will get to them in a second. Thank you, Julie, for the super chat. All right. All right. Guys, we have almost 900 people in the building. Keep liking the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Let's move on. Let's move on to 90 Day Fiance the other way since we were just talking about Kenny and Armando. I'm so glad we didn't get any of Johan and Danielle this week. But Kenny and Armando, I said this before. I feel like the season they're putting on a little bit. I definitely love the conversation that Armando had with his mom these last couple of weeks. However, I feel as if because producers have to produce, that they're producing this whole surrogate storyline. But if I see Kenny cry one more time, if I see Armando getting upset when Kenny says he needs a moment to think about this whole situation, and he's like, oh, you're making it seem like I'm disrespecting you. And he gets up and he walks away from the table. First of all, $72,000 for a surrogate. I've never done any of that stuff. Is that a lot of money in versus how much it would cost here in America? I think it would cost a lot more here in America, right? $72,000 to go through that entire process of getting a surrogate and babies and all that other stuff through this place. So the constant crying, and look, I understand where Kenny's coming from because Kenny is 60-something years old. Not 60-something, he's 60 years old. Or he's probably 61 by now. 60-something years old. And he's just like, if we have a baby now, by the time this child graduates from college, I'm going to be like 80-something years old. And these are real thoughts. And these are real things that people say in the comment section when you're judging people that are having babies at older ages. And he gets really emotional, per usual. But Armando's like, I want to have another kid. I think you're a great parent. I would love to have a kid with you, blah, blah, blah. ATX, why are you coming in here with spoilers? Not Katie says announced that her and Alejandro are not together anymore. They're married. What? I'm not surprised. I told you. Didn't I just tell you the look on Alejandro's face every time he was looking at Katie? I was like, he seems like he's annoyed with her. Kaboom says surrogacy is hundreds of thousands of dollars in the States. That's what I figured. I've never gone through that process, so I don't know. So I'm assuming that's very cheap. But who's paying for this? I know that Armando had work when he was working in town in his hometown. I don't know what Armando's doing now. I don't know what Kenny does. Apparently, whatever Kenny does, I'm sure he can do it from where he's living in Mexico. I don't know. Honestly, I'm just sort of like, when Armando got up from the table, I was just like, what is going on? And then he starts crying. I said, and that's why I did the video I did yesterday about Kenny and Armando. I said, if they cry one more time, and I don't want to deter people from crying, but if you've been watching Kenny and Armando for this season alone, they've cried a lot. What are their signs? We looked this up before, and the signs made sense, right? We did look this up before about Kenny and Armando, and the signs were like, oh, that makes sense. Right? I don't remember. We look up everybody's sign here. All right, let's move on because we're spending way too much time on these folks. Okay, moving on from Kenny and Armando. Okay, Kirsten and Julio. Kirsten is fine. Kirsten, as you know, is from the Netherlands. And he's supposed to be moving to the Netherlands to be with her. But since she's been in town here in the States, he's sort of changed his tune. Here's the thing. When they're in the car going to the airport, she talks, you guys are funny in the comments. She talks about how she's looking for the place for them to live when he comes there. And she's like, I've been looking at all the places by myself. And he was like, oh, you could FaceTime with me. I did FaceTime that one time. And she literally says, no, you did not. You have not. She's like, do not even start with that. And I was just like, so this guy, I don't know what his deal is, but I'm looking at him with the side eye because the way he keeps switching up on her on camera says a lot about him. I don't know what it is. I don't know what his intentions are, but something about Julio is not 100%. Because the fact that he would lie on camera about FaceTiming with her, he's like, I FaceTimed with you that for that one place. And she's like, no, you did not. I believe her. I believe her. I don't believe him. Because he's shown inconsistencies in his credibility. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Okay. Guys, we're almost at 400 likes. So be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Let's move on, because I don't really have that much to say about Kirsten and Julio, because literally she's leaving to go back to the Netherlands, and they're in an unsure place right now. All right. All right. This couple, Kimberly and TJ, right? Let me just make sure I write their names down. Kimberly and TJ. So last week we saw that Kimberly got into a heated debate with TJ's family, specifically I think it's TJ's brother, where he alluded that she might be stupid, and she was like, "No, you're not going to call me stupid." So that their scenes this week, Kimberly and TJ, they're in India. Something about her is just very off-putting to me. Very off-putting. I told you last week when I saw that segue when they go to their scenes and you show them like standing next to each other and their ages and their locations, and she was doing almost like she was mocking Indian dance. I was like, no, get this Karen out of India ASAP. I can't. I didn't like it. And her energy, she's like, I don't even want to be here. I'm only here for TJ. Go home. Because TJ doesn't even look like, y'all are not going to work out. Y'all not going to work out. They're so toxic together. I don't feel love between these people at all. At all. So I kind of, look, do I think the brother should have called her stupid? No. But I kind of felt his frustration with her. I think it's a frustration very similar to what we go through with her. Right? So I'm still not feeling Kimberly and TJ. Like, this is the most loving. This picture of TJ and Kimberly is the most loving we've seen of them on this show. Okay. Holly and Herbo in South Africa. So his concerns, last week she was very upset because he made it seem as if the way that she dressed is a little too provocative. He even called her like a woman of the night. Well, he alluded that people might view her as a woman of the night. So now she's taking self-defense class. Is it that bad in South Africa? The way that they make it seem, I'm like, is it bad? Because he I don't know if he's just being controlling and he's using stereotypes of South Africa to scare her. I'm sure it's not 100%. Like, where is 100% safe? But the way he makes it seem is like, he wants her to stay in the house. He's like, maybe after a year or so, then you can kind of go and jog on your own and things like that. And she's like, a year? I wish her luck. I wish her luck. So yeah, so that's Holly's story right now. I have not much to say. I don't want to say too much on these topics because then it sort of goes into that we're here for 3 hours as opposed to an hour and a half. We've already been talking an hour. But there's not a lot to say either in regards to their story. But I got a feeling like, Holly, you in danger, girl. You in danger. All right. We didn't get to see Brandon and Mary this week, right? We didn't see them this week, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. So that was 90 Day Fiance the other way. If I forgot a couple, I apologize. Obviously, they weren't memorable enough, or it's just way too many shows on at the same time. Maybe I will get a chance this week and get into 90 Day Fiance last resort, because some of you said that it was actually interesting. We shall see. But again, I'm already mixing up some of these couples in all the different shows, but I'm like, oh wait, they're on this show. 90 Day producers, don't ever do this again. This is too much. I get it, you're making tons of money, but this is too much. You're gonna make it so that people are just gonna drown out the show. Just like, I can't keep up. I'm not even interested. I'm not even interested. All right. What other show did I want to talk about? I think that was it for the shows. Let's move on to some more hot topics. Guys, if you're just joining us, there are few hot topics that I wanted to talk about, including Tyrese. Okay, well, hold on. Let me pull up the story with Tyrese because I forgot to open it up here. Hold on. So Tyrese is suing Home Depot. Oh, wait, we have some good news. Hold on, let me just put that to the side. Let me pull this up in regards to Tyrese. So Tyrese is suing Home Depot. Why is Tyrese always in the news for like things that are not about his accomplishments? You know what I mean? Like isn't he still part of Fast and Furious? Like, why is he always, is something going on with him? Just asking for a friend. The friend is me. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Where's the story? I just had it. Oh, here it goes. All right. You know what? Let me just read these super chats. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, Kimberly is frustrating to watch. If she doesn't care about Indian culture, why move there? It's so frustrating when these people go to these countries and disrespect the culture and way of life. I agree. And like I said, if what I observed her doing in that little intro scene of her mocking Indian dance, if that's what she was actually doing, I'm not surprised. Thank you, Rahina, for the super chat. We appreciate you. Dr. Payne, thank you so much for the super chat. Dr. Payne says, did you do Big Brother? I was with a patient. No, I have not been able to catch up on Big Brother yet. I know last week we talked about Luke getting fired. Well, not fired, kicked out of the Big Brother house for using the N-word. But I have not been able to sit down and catch up. I'm going to try. Maybe today after we do today's Tuesday Takeover, I'll be able to sit down and catch up with all the episodes. I know it's a lot. This is why I don't get into the show. Thank you so much, Jess, for the super sticker. We appreciate you supporting the channel as well. Okay. Okay. So Tyrese. Oh, goodness. Tyrese. Oh, Lord. What happened to Tyrese's music career? Nothing? Look, nothing? All right. So Tyrese. Oh, goodness. So Tyrese is suing Home Depot. All right. So the Fast and Furious star alleges that he and the craftsman Eric Mora and Manuel Hernandez, quote, experienced outrageous discriminatory mistreatment and consumer racial profiling firsthand at a Home Depot store in West Hills neighborhood of Los Angeles. The lawsuit dates back to a February 11th incident in which Gibson claims that the Home Depot clerks allegedly, quote, purposely interfered with and refused to process a transaction by Gibson, Mora, and Hernandez. All right. They say that they said that this was based off their skin color and the craftsman's national origin. Gibson is black, while both Mora and Hernandez are of Mexican descent. According to the court docs, the trio were buying items for a home improvement project when they ran into an issue during the checkout process. There was a reported glitch in the system that required a Home Depot employee to rescan the items. So speaking to TMZ, Tyrese says that he's all torn up inside about the $1 million lawsuit he filed against Home Depot because the home improvement store is his happy place. Okay. He was at LAX when a photog asked him how he's holding up after suing Home Depot, and Tyrese explained why it was so hard for him to pull the trigger. As crazy as it sounds, Tyrese says that Home Depot was like my Disneyland, estimating he spent close to $10 million there over the last 2 decades, which made suing the corporation all more difficult. Is he suing because he owes he has to pay all of this child support now? I don't know. I'm just asking. I want to put it out there. Look, I'm just asking legitimate question. But he said Home Depot was like his Disneyland. And let me tell you something. I love a Home Depot. I know some people are criticizing him for saying it, but I love a Home Depot. We also love like a show like Hack My Home. We love HGTV. So Home Depot really is like our Disneyland. I could spend hours in a Home Depot. And sidebar, Home Depot, depending on which one you go to, got some good looking people too, because you know, got those construction guys coming in. Just saying. So I could spend hours in Home Depot. And the end says, the Lowe's is better. Well, look, I think Lowe's is great too. I like both of them, but Home Depot is readily available for me. Okay. So Tyrese is suing them, but he's like, it hurts him to his core because that's his happy place. That's his Disneyland. Woo, 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 Tyrese. Woo, woo, woo. Let's move on. Speaking of woo, woo, woo. Well, no, here's some good news. Let me talk about some good news because we have a couple of stories that I want to talk about. So I do want to say in regards to Vanderpump, Lisa Vanderpump. So, you know, Lisa Vanderpump had to move out of Pump, the restaurant, because they were about to raise the rent on them. So Lisa Vanderpump has now moved this place to a location right next to Tom Tom. Okay, so Pump Restaurant has not closed completely. It will be back, and it will be right next door to Tom Tom. Just saying. Oh, Shannon says, you're right. When I worked there, the guys were handsome. See? For all you single ladies, just saying, go pick up something. You always need something from Home Depot. So congratulations to Lisa Vanderpump. Yes, Pump will be back, and it will be next door to Tom Tom. I could care less, but I know you wanted to hear about it. All right, moving on. Where do I want to go? Well, since we're talking about Lisa Vanderpump and it's Real Housewives related. So as you saw from the thumbnail, we were talking about Bethenny. The last couple of weeks, we've been talking about Bethenny and the war that she's waging against Bravo NBC Universal. Oh, let me just pull up the article. Hold on. See, when I restart my computer, I've lost all my things. Where can I find it? Hold on, y'all. Because just when I think I have everything together, here it is. Perfect. So yesterday, you may have seen everywhere in regards to Bethenny Frankel and the war that she's waging against NBC Universal. And she has been, she's been on all over social media, and a lot of people have been slamming her for this. She's like, they made you who you are. Why would you want to do this to them? And a lot of people feel like her intentions in doing this are not 100% about anything good. It's all about her. It's all about what she's trying to do for herself. It's all about her ego. All right. So then yesterday, all over the media, this story came out that Bethenny pitched a show to Bravo just months before, calling it grotesque and depraved for treatment of reality stars. So they write this, page 6. They say Bethenny Frankel recently recruited 2 power lawyers to her righteous crusade to overthrow Bravo, and they fired off a positively bloodthirsty legal letter to the network alleging that it routinely engages in grotesque and depraved mistreatment of reality stars and crew members. Curiously, though, page 6 has learned that a mere 6 months earlier, the very same comrade Frankel pitched Bravo on a new show of her own, devising that it would follow rich Connecticut families, including a source pointedly notes their children. Perhaps Bravo was substantially less depraved circa March 2023. Or perhaps the skinny girl mogul just thought those spoiled brats could use some toughening up. Ooh, who wrote this article? Hold on, let me go back up. Ollie Coleman, you are so shady in this article writing right now. So they say, we're told the former Real Housewives of New York star, who starred in 2 of her very own spinoffs and a smattering of other shows for the NBC Universal subsidiary, got the go-ahead from network execs to develop the show, which was set to star Susan Sarandon's daughter, the actress blogger Eva Murray. But we hear there are some kind of bust up between Frankel and the production company that she was working with, and the project was shelved. Though Bravo remained theoretically interested in the comings and goings of Westport's most delectably nepolicious residents. Okay? They said that as the SAG-AFTRA and you already know all about it. So they're alleging that this might be the reason behind Bethenny's now war on NBC and Bravo. But if you listen to her conversation, her podcast episode with Jill Zarin, she already told us this. She told us this literally during that episode. She said, yeah, I had just recently had shopped a very similar, because they were talking about Roni, a very similar show to Bravo. I'm not sure if it's the same show, but it sounds like it. And please understand, and this is why I like to, have my own platform to kind of discuss these things. This is all strategic. This is NBC's waging a battle against Bethenny and trying to discredit her and her claims. And no matter how you feel about Bethenny, a lot of these claims, a lot of people have been talking about and made against the network before. So I just wanted to point that out. Yes, this is what you saw yesterday, but this is what we were talking about. We were talking about why the alleged victims of Lizzo were doing media tours. We were telling you, well, don't be surprised that maybe that media were trying to discredit them, and Lizzo and her team, although not publicly, are doing it in their own way. So I believe, I wouldn't be shocked that NBC Universal is doing something like that. Just saying. But like I said, she did talk about this on her podcast about her shopping a show. So to me, when I heard it, I was like, well, she talked about it already. So this is not any news. If she had not talked about it previously, then I would be like, oh, that's interesting. Interesting timing. And some people think that Bethenny, after doing a podcast with Jill and feeling as if she had crashed a funeral, that would sparked her issues with the network. Maybe. Okay. Planner Bay says that Bethenny is the wrong messenger. Hold on. Fahrenheit says, I knew there was more to know about Bethany's white savior complex, which is a perfect segue to my next story. Thank you for that, Fahrenheit. It's a perfect segue. So my next story that I want to talk about has to be about this whole situation with Micheal Oher. So you know the movie The Blind Side, right? You all saw the movie The Blind Side, right? Starred Sandra Bullock. Yeah. Well, apparently he's suing his former family, I'm guessing, because he's alleging against this family never adopted him. Like it was insinuated in the movie The Blind Side. He's saying that they never adopted him and they actually got a conservatorship over him. And that they made millions of dollars off of the movie The Blind Side, and he made nothing from it. Well, now the family is speaking out and saying that, well, he was legally over 18, so we couldn't legally adopt him. And conservatorship was the only way. And he said they all made each of them made $14,000, including Micheal. Well, here's the situation. They are now, well, not they, social media, Twitter specifically, Twitter, hey Twitter, or X. They are now saying they want Sandra Bullock to turn over her Oscar. Not my Oscar. Not my Oscar. They want her Oscar. First of all, we just reported that Sandra Bullock lost her partner of how many years? Okay? Leave Sandra Bullock alone and her Oscar, please. All right? Leave Sandra Bullock and her Oscar. Leave Sandra Bullock and her Oscar. Social media, it's not happening. Because look, Sandra Bullock's performance was still epic, even if it wasn't real, even if it wasn't 100%. Leave Sandra Bullock and her Oscar alone. Like I said, she's going through a lot right now. If y'all don't leave Sandra Bullock alone. Anyways. Yeah, social media wants her to give back the Oscar because the family's a fraud. The family's a fraud, not me. And look, I know for one thing for sure, Sandra Bullock definitely adopted her black children. Let her keep her Oscar. Okay. Dr. Payne, thank you so much for another super chat. Dr. Payne says, I hear Nene crying foul that Lisa Vanderpump took her location idea and she wanted to open a restaurant next to Tom Tom and asked Lisa for advice. Yeah, that's an old story. I'm not going to even rehash. We already have enough to talk about, but thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Nene alleged that Lisa Vanderpump, she had confided in Lisa Vanderpump in opening a restaurant, and then Lisa told her, oh, no, darling, don't do that. And then she ended up opening a restaurant in that location. Okay. Just saying. I mean, it's bad, but you know what I'm saying. All right. But thank you for the segue. Thank you for the segue, Dr. Payne. Because since we want to bring up Nene, let's talk about Kandi. So this morning I posted a video. So I'm not going to go into the depths or even show you the video of what we talked about. If you haven't seen my video from this morning where Kandi not breaks her silence, but talks about why she doesn't see it for Phaedra and why she disagrees with what Nene said in her most recent interview, that she doesn't owe Phaedra anything. She doesn't owe the fans anything in regards to a conversation in regards to what Phaedra did on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Only come to find out, Kenya in this new interview with Carlos King also alleges some of the behind the scenes trickery and stuff that Phaedra was doing, like Walter retaining her for an attorney, and that's how the whole rumor of him not being her real boyfriend came to be. So Kandi talks about this on her recent Speak On It and just says, I don't know how the fans forget what played out. Literally, Phaedra was making it seem like Kandi, told her about some dungeon and women and things like that. And then she tried to switch up her story and like, oh, I heard from someone. And the fact that Phaedra has never shown any remorse or apologized for what she said and did. And she said if Portia had never said anything at the reunion, they would have never known that Phaedra was even involved. And I know a lot of people always say this, Portia's not innocent. And Kandi says, yeah, Portia wasn't innocent. And it took them a long time to get to the place that they are now. Here's the thing. I feel like I feel like Phaedra and Kandi could have been in the same place that Portia and Kandi are now if Phaedra at the time showed remorse and says, you know what, I should never have done that. I went too far. But she didn't. And apparently Kandi also said that Phaedra was trying to stop her bag when it came to her liquor license over at OLG. So Phaedra was behind the scenes doing all kinds of tricky, but are we surprised? Shady Faye. I'm not surprised. Imani says that I watched the reunion multiple times. It's still shocking. Bye, phony Faye. Okay. So guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels that talk about similar topics. Our Tuesday Takeover is a mashup. We will be posting the timestamps later for those that are just looking for specific stories of what we are talking about and covering. We are going to have some of you call in and share your thoughts on some of the topics that we've been covering today. Have I covered everything that I wanted to talk about? I think, oh no, I have one more story. But before I bring up that story, because this is a mess, this story is a mess. Hold on. Let me just drop the call-in link for the general audience. Okay. So guys, oh, well, no, let me drop the call link for members first. General audience, we have almost 1,000 view in the building. Can we get to 500 likes? Can we get to 500? We're almost there. Let's get to 500 likes and I'll drop the call link for the general audience. But if you're a member of the channel, I am going to drop the call in link for you now. Okay. All members. All right. So first come, first serve. Let me just do this. And TikTok, I'm going to end the live here, but we appreciate you guys watching from behind the scenes and being a part of the conversation. Thank you guys so much for sharing the live, follows, taps, joining our team. We appreciate you. And I will see you all in the next TikTok live. All right? All right. Or you can head on over to YouTube or Facebook to watch and listen to the callers there. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. Members, I've posted the call-in link for you. Let's get into this other story because this other story is a mess. Have you guys been seeing this like recent like flash mob robberies? At first, I just thought it was like group robberies, like set it off. But no, it's literally like 50 people. 50 people going into a store and robbing the place. I saw this last week and then it happened again over the weekend. A flash mob. They're calling it a flash mob robbery. Flash mob robbery. Take a listen to this because this is a mess.
In Los Angeles, a frightening scene for department store shoppers over the weekend when a brazen mob staged a smash and grab style robbery right in broad daylight. The mob of nearly 50 people stormed into a Nordstrom in Canoga Park Mall Saturday. Police say the thieves, many wearing black hoodies, snatched up to $100,000 in luxury handbags and high-end clothing. Police say the thieves even used bear spray on two security guards. Nobody's been arrested yet. It was the second smash and grab robbery in L.A. in the past week.
Did she say bear spray? I'm assuming bear sprays, if you're in the forest and a bear comes up to you, you spray them. I'm assuming that's what that is. I don't like to assume, but I'm assuming. For 50 people. So what does the planning meeting for that look like? I'm sorry. Can we talk? Can we really talk? Can we, come on. Stop being so serious. Can we talk for a second? Nobody was killed. I mean, someone might have been hurt though with that bear spray. Can we talk? What does that planning meeting look like? How you get 50 people together and 50 people? That's scary. That is very, very scary. And I'm glad we don't see security. You know, sometimes we see like Walmart and stuff like that. We see security fighting with people. I'm glad that security, y'all don't get paid enough to be fighting with people. They have insurance for anything stolen. But honestly, where were the police? It was just in the, what's it, the Gucci store? Where literally the same thing. A flash mob comes in there and they took everything out. That security was not playing. That security was like, they were on their phone. Security, police. Honora said Discord, maybe. You know what? Not Discord. Like, how is the planning meeting for something like that work? Is it going to be a movie about this later? Do they meet up later? I wonder. I have concerns. I have questions. Anyways, I have concerns. I have questions. I wanted to talk about it. TikTok, we're going to end the live here, but we appreciate you guys being here watching from behind the scenes. But head on over to our YouTube or Facebook. You can also watch us there. We're going to take some live callers, so you won't be able to hear the live callers there. All right. All right. Let's get into some of these callers. Let me switch this off. Okay. Let me put this up. There we go. And let me put up my disclaimer. And I'm sure I may have forgotten stories. And for those that are wondering my thoughts on the Kenya Moore interview, I want to rewatch it before I share my thoughts. I'm not sure if it will be live or a separate video. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. You guys will let me know your thoughts and things like that. Okay. All right. Where is my... Oh, here we go. All right. Let's get to some callers. Callers, you all have a minute to share your thoughts. Have we reached... We're almost at 500 likes, y'all. Once we get to 500 likes, I will drop the call-in link for the general audience to call in. But if we don't, it's fine. I can go have lunch. Can I have lunch? Okay. Hold on. I ain't seen Justin in a month of Sundays. Justin says, why haven't they redesigned the boutiques to make it harder? Honestly, I can barely walk out the Safeway. There's so much anti-theft contraptions. Really? I just know when I go to Duane Reade, everything's under lock and key, which is so annoying. It's so annoying because then they also don't have enough staff to respond. Why do I have to call you for like chips? Why is everything under lock and key? Is that the same in other places of the United States, or is that just a New York thing? Everything's under lock and key. All right, let me get to these callers so I can go. Brooklyn Star's backstage. We're going to bring Brooklyn Star up first. What's going on, Brooklyn Star?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
Good. I just wanted to say I went to Beyonce on Friday night.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was worth every bit of money. I always go to her concerts. I wish I would have planned like other people did and bought multiple days because I want to go back. So now I have to fly out. I'm going to go to the New Orleans show. It was that good. It was amazing.
Wow.
The fashions were wild though. As soon as I hit the curb, it was like tacky versus very fashionable, but tacky won out. Like, I mean, I seen the boys just in thongs, like sitting on people's seats. I was a little gagged out about how far some of the fashions went.
Really?
But yeah, it was wild. And yeah, it was the fashion's wild. I seen Derek J was the first person I seen, which was weird. He's still stomping around in closed-toe Louboutins, okay, and a cape. Wild, but yeah, I would go back. Go Kempire, fly out somewhere. Go.
Well, I hear she's doing more shows, so we'll see.
Oh, then I'm going to go again. It was worth it. Also with the smash and grabs. The only reason I'm hating is because I have to pay full price for mine, but I just want to put it out there. I have questions to ask the ones who robbed the YSL store. I just want to ask some questions. That's all. I would like to ask some questions, putting it out there, but that's all, Kempire.
I mean, I have questions too, because I'm just like, how'd you guys plan this? I wonder if it's going to be, stay tuned. Stay tuned. I know, guys, I want to go to Beyonce too. Come on. All right, we're going to bring up Wendy next. What's going on, Wendy? And thank you to all of the members that are backstage. We appreciate you for your monthly support. Hey, Wendy, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. Okay, I had to sneak in the car because I'm in the office today. And I was in training during the beginning, so I'm going to have to catch the replay.
Okay.
But I got in when you was talking about Michael Oher.
Yeah.
Let you know, Michael Oher went to the same school my cousin did, which was Briarcrest, and he took her to the prom. So I met him.
What?
Okay, that was a good one. Yes, he's a very nice guy.
Handsome,
with
too.
The smash and grab, I used to work at Gap, and especially Gap Kids. People used to come and steal all the time, and I just looked at them. I'm like, okay, peace. Because we was told not to do anything.
Yeah.
We was told do not do anything when people come and get stuff, because it's not worth little $10.21 an hour that you make part-time. And what I'm thinking what's going to happen now, these designers, they're going to put tracking devices in their bags. And so when you check out, they can take the tracking device out. So I'm thinking that's gonna be the next thing. So that's my 2 cents. And you have a good day.
You too. Thanks. Take care. Bye. That's crazy. All right, Ebony, we're gonna bring you up next. What's going on, Ebony? You're muted, Ebony.
Okay.
Oh, there you
So
go.
yeah, tracking device like LVP does our dogs. That's something interesting. But I definitely want to talk about Michael Oher because I did read the book, The Side of the Family. He wasn't the only child that they had, and he did need conservatorship because he was going to a private school without his mom. So I just don't want that. I wanted to put that out there because the book, they definitely did try to come from the heart, but the movie was moving so quickly that he was cut out a lot. So he definitely does need to, get his justice due, because he wasn't a part of the whole contract when it came for the movie. And so, yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I just don't want any hate towards that. I know there's not going to stop it, but just for the side of family, they did try to help him attend the school, do better. But he was really the only one of the black boys that they worked with from the foster side family that came and did something in the NFL. So that's what I had to put.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Have a great
Ebony.
one, everyone.
You too. Bye. All right. Let me stop this because you'll know how that timer surprises me. All right. We're going to bring up, okay, we hit our goal. Let me just drop the call-in link for the general audience. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover. Don't forget to like the video if you were part of the replay crew. And don't forget to let us know, replay crew, where you're watching from and your thoughts on any of the topics that we've covered, from 90 Day Fiance to Bethenny to Kandi to Phaedra to this whole Micheal Oher situation. We got Miss Bernice backstage. We're going to bring her up next. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, what up, Joe? How you doing, Kempire?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm doing fine. For when you was talking about the Asperger,
yeah,
the spectrum, the higher you are on the spectrum, I mean, you need more help functioning in life.
Mm-hmm.
People who have Asperger's, they are in level 1 of the spectrum, so they don't need as much assistance, and they can live a regular life. They can get a job, go to school, and stuff like that. But if you're level 2 or level 3, you're functioning in life. You're going to need assistance with some type of in your life. That's what's the difference. That's a different level.
Yeah.
It goes from, like, because Jenna was raised by a mother who has autism, and it goes to Rain Man. Rain Man he couldn't function on his own.
Yeah.
So that's the ranges of the different levels of autism. Getting on this, only thing I can say, these 2,000 babies are something special. With this smash and grab, I don't know what it is. Like, they don't want to work. They think they supposed everything given to them, and if you tell them that you're going down the wrong road, baby, don't go that way. Oh, you can't tell me what to do. And you see stuff like that on TV. Like, you get your whole neighborhood to go to down there to drive the store.
You are assuming that these are the 2,000 babies, and when we find out it's Otis and Ralph and them, you're gonna miss your words, all right? Just
whatever. Whatever.
I hope they do find them so we can find out the age, so we can revisit this conversation.
Because they did it at the Little Dirk concert in Chicago. You saw that?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, somebody called in saying it was a active shooter, and people started panicking and running, and they come to find out it was all a hoax. And then the people they went to the stands where they're selling the merchandise, and started robbing all that, looting all that.
It's bad. All right, Miss Bernice, I got a long line backstage, but thank you so much for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. But Jillian says it's the 2,000 babies Kempire. We shall see. Look, y'all couldn't identify those people in a lineup. They all had masks on. We'll see. We'll see. Stay tuned. I just can't believe a flash mob robbery. I just need someone to add, set it up on the left, y'all. Just add that music when we watch the video, please. Okay. All right. Stephanie's backstage. We're going to bring Stephanie up next. What's going on, Stephanie?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, perfect. So I just wanted to call in because I was supposed to go to the Beyonce concert last night, and I was actually watching one of your videos yesterday when Dewan called in about the whole TikTok hack and whatnot. And I had actually already purchased my ticket earlier that day. And when I was on the way to the concert in my Uber, I look in my Ticketmaster app, and somebody else has claimed my ticket, meaning that I did not have a ticket to the Beyonce concert. Exactly. So basically, I purchased, there's an app called Game Time, and they've been advertising heavily on TikTok. And so when Dewan called in, I kind of assumed like maybe that was the app that he was talking about. And you can get tickets later on, but I think what they're doing is they're selling their tickets multiple times. And then whoever gets there first and scans the ticket first is the one who gets the ticket. And then you don't get a refund if you didn't get your ticket. So now they're trying to tell me I don't get a refund. I will definitely be getting a refund. But I just wanted to call in really quickly and just share that with everybody. I think the app does work for some people, but for me, it did not. And I did everything I was supposed to do, and my ticket was stolen from me. So I just wanted to share that with everybody who's listening.
Thanks, Stephanie. Wow. Steph, that's not the first story that I saw. I told you I've been hearing drama stories about tickets and people losing their tickets. Oh, whose fault is that? Ticketmaster? I keep telling y'all, Ticketmaster needs a RICO charge. All right. Speaking of Dewan, Dewan's backstage. What's going on, Dewan?
Hey, kempire, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Stephanie, I did not take your ticket.
Oh, come on.
But listen, kempire, as Brooklyn Star said, if you do go to the show, I would love to go to the New Orleans one. And so do a little host or something there, like a meet and greet. That would be great.
Now I got to work. Go ahead. What were your thoughts?
My phone rang. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. What were your thoughts?
I'm very lax, very liberal. But with all of this crime that's going on, we need to listen. Something needs to change, because it's like that where I'm living as well. They've started to lock everything up. You can't even go into the freaking CVS and buy juice. I mean, and so it's becoming a problem. The Kandi and Phaedra thing was interesting as well. I'm like, why is she still harking on this? I do realize that obviously she's in an interview setting and they asked her, but
yeah,
it's becoming like bully pulpit-ish at this point, from her dungeon. And so, but yeah, I thought the Kenya interview was great. It shed her in a different light. I'm even looking at her like, wow, okay. And Carlos King needs to learn how to interview better. That's the last thing I'll say. He cuts the people off while they're telling these juicy stories about these scenes that we've loved forever. And so, thank you.
Thanks, Dewan. Bye. I didn't pay Dewan to say that. Y'all just speaking y'all truth. That's why. Never mind. Let me get to the next caller. Phoenix, I'm going to bring you up next. Hold on. What's going on, Phoenix?
Hey, I have not called in a long time, because the
know.
last time I had called in, I was about to defend my dissertation for my PhD. So I was all nervous. I was like, but I did it. I did it, girl. I did it.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I still don't understand the forgiveness that Kandi had for Portia. I don't understand it. And I think that it confuses me. And I mean, maybe she just did it for TV because they were on the show. But I don't think that Portia's innocent at all. I don't think that she was tricked at all. I think that she knew that it was a lie. She thought that it was funny. And I honestly can't stand her. I mean, I think she's a beautiful woman. I think seeing her on Girls Trip, it was like, oh, okay. But like, I stopped liking her when she said she thought the Underground Railroad was a real railroad. I have never forgiven her for that. I have never forgiven her for that. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't get why like everybody loves her. Like, she didn't sit here and lie that somebody essayed another person. Like, come on now. I know that she dumb, but she ain't that dumb. But and also I agree with the last caller about Carlos King. We all know his voice is annoying, and then when he cuts people off, it just adds to it. Yeah, I think you should be the one doing the interviews, but that's me.
Wait, but Phoenix, I want to point this out though. Do you think though that Kandi would have forgiven Phaedra if Phaedra had just apologized?
Yeah, probably.
She hasn't.
I mean, I don't think they ever would have been close like they were.
Yeah.
But I think for Phaedra to actually apologize, she would have to actually admit that she did anything wrong, and she'll never admit that she did anything wrong. And I think not just apologize to her personally, but like publicly. I think Kandi would have expected a more public apology from her.
Good point.
Of like, yeah, I lied. I felt like crap because my husband went to jail and I didn't feel like Kandi supported me, so, but then again, stopping her from getting the liquor license, I think that was like another level, and I didn't even know that, so I watched Speak on it, but that's another level to it, because it's like, how are you really going to stop Kandi's coin? Like, Kandi's going to be making coin regardless. So the fact that you make these little like attempts to stop her coin, like, it's so pathetic. Honestly, like, and Phaedra I used to really love, and I felt like she was so funny and shady, but I feel like she's just evil at this point.
Nope.
And yeah, it's just giving like, go to therapy, please. But anyway, also I saw I've officially been a member for a year, and I'm like, damn, you're fine.
Thank you so much.
We out here. Yeah, no, because when I had first come across your channel, I was going through a terrible breakup and just so stressed with my last year of school. But like, we out here now. We good. Like, screw him. So love you, baby.
Thanks, Venus. Take care and congrats. Bye. All right, guys. I have to get to these rest of these callers. And callers, I've been drinking too much of this water. So let's get through this. Okay, it's me, MK. We're gonna bring up next. Hold on. What's going on? It's me, MK.
Hey there, I'll be quick because my baby's about to wake up. So I definitely agree with Kandi in that she doesn't owe Phaedra anything. What Phaedra did was disgusting and horrible, especially she's a lawyer, so she knows the implications of defamation. And I just hope that people will stop asking Kandi this damn question all the time. She's never going to be friends with her. She's never going to apologize. I mean, forgive her. Like, just drop it. It's dead. It's done. My other thing is about these smash and grab like robberies. Like Joanne said, like, I'm a liberal and all that, but where is the popo? Like, can we have police in these high-end malls and retail centers? Because this is ridiculous. Like, COVID killed the high street in the UK. Like, all these iconic retailers closed shop. Like, Oxford Circus is like, it's a ghost town. And now these smash and grabs are gonna now put the nail in the coffin. You can only rob these retail stores so much until they close shop completely. Like San Francisco. Like, there's nothing there. You know, so I just think
Walmart was talking about that similarly as well. They're saying because of the amount of theft that they've received, it's affected Walmart. But I think to myself, well, how many people y'all stolen from? Allegedly.
Well, yeah, but also think about like how much rent these retailers pay to rent in these iconic areas, and then you're gonna come and rob me? No. Because also all these things are being stolen. These companies have to pay those designers for lost merchandise. Because if I'm Gucci and my stuff gets stolen in your store, you have to compensate me for that lost income. So it's like, it's a double, triple whammy. So I just think we need to forget about this whole, abolish police thing and bring them back and security guards and arm them, because this is ridiculous.
Okay. MK, thank you so much for calling in.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, let's get through these calls. Still went over the timer. Let's get to the callers. All right, I'm going to bring up Sandra Bullock's Oscar. What's going on, Sandra Bullock's Oscar?
What's up? I'm gonna try to be fast since you got to get to the callers.
Thank you.
I feel sorry for $1 million company with $1 million insurance getting robbed by an organized group of citizens. Because I don't. P.O. Box me something from Gucci. Thanks. If y'all want people to stop robbing, y'all pay people better and stop hoarding your wealth. To everybody asking for Sandra to return her Oscar, if your boss is found guilty of fraud, would you want to return your checks? Just like you worked for your money, Sandra worked for that Oscar. Now, as far as that family, have them turn over every dime they made from appearances, books, endorsements, or whatever because of this super savior fantasy that was low-key human trafficking, in my opinion. Even if Phaedra did nothing beyond ledge of false allegation against Kandi, having an airhead come on TV and lie on my character is enough for me to never talk to you again. Stop trying to force that lady on Kandi because y'all are desperate for the low-class drama y'all also complain about and look down on. Makes no sense.
Thanks, Kari. You did that in under 50 seconds. Bye.
Ooh.
You did that in under 50 seconds. All right. There we go. We're going to bring up Audrey next. Hold on. What's going on, Audrey?
Hi.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can. Okay, good, because I have to go back to work. I just want to say this, and I know it wasn't brought up, and I feel, and I'm just going back to when you did the Real Housewives of Atlanta review. Okay, once you see this, you're never going to be able to unsee this. In Drew's confessional, and please, anyone who noticed this, please, like, give me a thumbs up if you notice it too. The zebra dress top that she's also wearing body makeup. And so now there's brown makeup on her zebra dress. In the top, if you're watching the screen, in the top right corner, where she has a tattoo that she uses. Thank you. Come on, receipts. Look, do you see the brown makeup? It's right there where her tattoo is on her left shoulder. And I've been seeing it now for like the past 3 or 4 weeks, and it drives me insane. And it further goes to the lack of production, the lack of money that's being spent on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because anyone would have been able to catch that if they were really looking. That's it. Kempire, I love you. Keep doing a great job.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. The things that you guys pay attention to. But when you think about what Kenya says in this new interview, she literally saying the casting process is so different now in regards to how these folks get on the show. And that's probably part of the reason why you're getting what you're getting in regards to quality. Maybe. I'm so glad that I had that picture right there on my desktop. I'm a mess. All right, Jazzy's backstage. You're going to bring Jazzy up next. What's going on, Jazzy?
Hi.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Now back to this girl who don't watch nothing that y'all talking about. Listen. So I did watch the drama between Phaedra and them. Now I do agree with another caller who said that Portia's not innocent. I think Portia figured it out about halfway or so through it. She figured out Phaedra was lying. And she just went along with it. So I think she's just as bad. Neither one of them hosts could be my friend. Excuse me. Garden Twist could be my friend. I just would never be with them. And she's right. She doesn't owe her anything. And I also agree with everybody who's talking about the smash and grabs. Get your kids. Because I would beat the life out of mine. Are you out of your mind? But also, I really don't feel sorry for these high-end brands. They tag any type of price they want on something that it costs $1.50 to make. You really want me to cry 2 tears in a bucket when I'm sitting over here trying to scratch and save and they going up on water and rent as high as giraffe kuka, and you talking about somebody stole a shirt that cost you $1.35 to make, but you put $1,000 price tag on it, baby? I'm not about to cry for you. Okay, that's just the price of doing business. Ain't that what you say when we run into hard times? Figure it out. Well, figure it out. All right, bye, y'all.
Thanks, Jazzy. Bye. This is why I love when the callers come in, guys, because everyone has such a difference of opinion. And look, we invite everyone's opinion as long as you share it in a, funny, but also amicable way. Come on. All right, we have Tyler. Tyler's going to be our last caller. So if anyone else calls in, I'm not taking you. All right? All right? It's lunchtime. All right, so we're going to bring Tyler up next. What's going on, Tyler?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Okay, so originally I did think the viewers were robbed of the conversation between Kandi and Phaedra.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about it. To be honest, Phaedra is only as good as who she's around on the show. If they allow her to be phony or whatever like that, she's going to do that. And I just have a feeling these new crop of girls would do nothing but kiss her tail. Kenya would be bored with her and Kandi would give her nothing. So put her exactly where she's at. And from my understanding, based off Dr. Heavenly's live, she tried to come over there with that and they had to bring it out of her. So is she really worth it? I mean, it's a waste of time. Bravo, either bring back the girls that you know you need to bring back or scrape everybody. That's that on there.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank you. You had still 20 seconds to go. Bye, Tyler. Wow, you guys had lots of thoughts, and we appreciate those thoughts, guys. As always, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel, but liking the video also allows other creators to start to show up on your algorithm. Be sure to, again, be sure to subscribe to our podcast, Kempire Radio, if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel so you can see the visual version of our podcast episodes. We had a really, if I'm laughing at myself and I'm editing my podcast and I'm like, I am ridiculous, then you know it's a good episode. So be sure to check out our latest episode of the Kempire Radio podcast on your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Google, Spotify, all the places, or head on over to kempireradio.com for more details. Thank you to everyone that was a part of the show. Oh, and I forgot, I had a super chat. Sorry, Julie. Thank you, Julie, for another super chat. Julie says, in regards to Kyle, am I the only one that has never heard of Morgan before this? To me, Kyle is fueling this. And Jeff Lewis was hysterical. Goodbye, Kyle. Ken. We didn't even talk about the Kyle situation because I completely forgot about it I literally was going to add, this is why I have to make a list as the stories come up. I literally forgot about it after we talked about it last week on my TikTok. So I completely forgot about Kyle being in Morgan Wade's new music video as her love interest, and they're doing these very provocative scenes. And Mauricio commented on it with fire emojis. I think they really are just trying to make Morgan Wade a thing, and she's not. I heard some live footage of her, and I was like, this girl is okay. Look, just okay. But you know what Omarosa said on Bethenny's talk show? All right. Shout out to our King's Guards. We could not do this live show without them. Shout out to our members. To become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And of course, shout out to all of our subscribers. It was subscribers only live chat. So if you haven't become a subscriber, why not? You're missing out. You don't realize that you're missing out on shorts content. If you rely on that algorithm to notify you of my new videos, you're missing out. You're missing out. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already to the Kempire channel, and subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel as well. And follow me on social media, on Threads, on Twitter, on Instagram. Everything's at the Kempire, at Kempire Daily, and at Kempire Radio. Thank you all for being here. I will see you all in the next video. All right? Have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all. Let's get out of here with some music. I should play some Christmas music, but I won't.
Gonna get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphone. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Yeah, all I know is get paper. All I do is shit major. Bought a condo on the top floor and the building's a skyscraper. Feeling like I'm Kobe, LeBron for the Lakers. Feeling like I'm Idris, Paul Walker, Taker. New Rollie, no diamonds in it. New Porsche, all dimes in it. I'm infatuated with fine women. Corona extra with the lime in it. Just to chase the Henny. Used to be a penny pincher. Now I'm in plenty business. Grind hard, nigga, on guard. Grind hard, nigga, on guard. Yeah. We grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. I lean with it, I rock with it. Locks under my socks fitted. Tahoe with the black tint. Houston girl, heavy accent, but my whole swag is magic. High five, fantastic. Make the money stretch like elastic. Making moves that you couldn't imagine. Eating, still watching my calories. Just to pull in that big boy salary. It's just the way that it has to be. I'm a bad boy, Mike Lowry. While I'm sipping this Henny, and all of my niggas is with me. Yeah, grind hard, nigga, on guard. Yeah, grind hard, nigga, on guard. Yeah. Grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible.